The Sell More Beats course channel craze, I think, is coming to an end. Ever since I started getting back on camera in like 2023, my whole vision for this channel was to point out my skepticism about the efficacy of these particular courses. And there were so many channels that were really pushing this whole sign up for these courses and we will help you sell more beats. You will sell on BeatStars if you sign up for these courses. But the courses weren't very catered to the individuals that were signing up for them. It was a lot of blanket information that could probably be found in other places online. When I started to get very loud about this, of course, a lot of course creators were upset and they came after me in the comments and they would DM me on Instagram and all of these different things. Around the same time that I came out and started talking about it, I feel like a lot of people were feeling it. I started going through a few channels that I knew about back in 2020 to look at view counts on YouTube, and they have fallen exponentially. It seems that a lot of people realize that these courses do not work. And even when it comes to tutorials and FL Studio and things like that, away from the whole selling side, people are putting out these 2-hour FL Studio tutorials and they themselves don't even make good beats. So all around, skepticism started to grow and grow and grow. The only hope for these channels is that a younger, more naive band of producers is going to come through and start to sign up for these courses again or start to watch this content again. But that doesn't seem to be the case. As these DAWs have gone through the years, they've gotten easier and easier and easier to use. Whereas before the DAWs were more catered towards music producers, now the DAWs are more catered towards the general public. And of course, the dream is to be able to quit your 9-to-5 and become this 24/7 beat seller on BeatStars, making all of this money, because who wouldn't do that? Through going through these courses and these tutorials and all of those other things, you realize that that's a lot harder to do than these people are saying. And you're also realizing that you don't need these in-depth tutorials to use these DAWs that are pretty easy to pick up anyway, even for the general public. I think the space is totally changing. I'm seeing more and more of these comments that say things like, I just make music for fun. I just do it for the sheer enjoyment of it. But then you'll look and they'll be selling on BeatStars. And I think that that's more of the way that everything is turning. People are putting less emphasis on turning this into a full-time thing. They're still trying to sell beats on BeatStars, but they truly are also just making the beats for fun, while not quitting their 9-to-5 and not going all in on one of these $1,500 courses. And I think that that's a really good way for this to turn. We've all seen so many of these Sell More Beat videos say the same exact things over and over and over. And some of them will work and some of them won't. But in the end, none of them are going to produce a miracle. And none of them are going to allow you to just say goodbye to your boss and start doing beat making full time. That's just not very realistic. The more realistic way to go is to continue to make music because you enjoy it, and to just hope that one day you get picked up on BeatStars. You'll save so much money by avoiding these traps that I feel like the producers of what's now becoming yesteryear have fallen into. I fell into a lot of them. That's why I started talking about the things that I was talking about. And a lot of other people have fallen into these traps as well. And it doesn't seem like the new wave of producers that are coming onto YouTube now are really watching too much of this content, because I think all in all, they're more social media savvy than my generation was. They don't really need to go to a channel like Adam Ivy to figure out how to navigate social media. First of all, they came in with the massive amounts of saturation. So they already know how to weave in between those obstacles. And that's something that I feel like people my age that came online from MySpace and SoundClick, when we started to get into this more saturated market, we didn't really know what to do. At least I speak for myself, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments like, oh no, I messed at this immediately. There's always those people. But for the most part, people were coming in running into a wall because everything just seemed overly saturated because everybody just started coming in around the same time. You see people like BusyWorks Beats, he started a really long time ago. Adam Ivy started a really long time ago. They came in before the saturation really hit. When the saturation hit, we started to watch these guys because they had successful channels, not even realizing that there was a relationship between when they get on YouTube and their success now. I remember I had a couple channels in 2006 that got thousands and thousands of views for absolutely no reason. One of them was a 12-second video of my cat. So it wasn't that hard to get views then. But it's really hard to get views now, especially for these channels who didn't evolve. I think in the future, the way that we have to do this is you do it for fun and hope that it makes money. Putting all of your money, your time, and your music production energy into trying to learn how to do this better, you're pissing in the wind.